Hello everybody, and welcome to Discovering in Color. Today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about camping, and specifically next weekend, I'm going camping, and it's going to be a camping trip, not a backpacking trip, so more of a car camping trip. So weight is not really a factor, so I want to make sure I stay comfortable throughout the weekend. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pick out from all of this crazy gear that I have, I'm going to pick out a setup that I'm going to use next weekend for camping. The scenario is we're going all the way out to eastern Oklahoma, out to near a place called Tahlequah, and we're going to be camping on top of a mountain. So it's going to be a pretty exposed area. So what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to use a hammock setup because it's not very good for that. I'm going to be using a tent setup. The temperatures are going to be very cool during the daytime, so probably in the 5 to 10 degrees Celsius or about 40 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit range during the day. And at nighttime, they're going to be sub-freezing, a few degrees below freezing. So probably maybe 25 Fahrenheit to -4 or so Celsius. So I'm going to be prepared for that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pick out the gear that I want. I'm going to lay it out for you in an open manner. And then I'm going to show it to you in a compacted manner inside of a backpack. And what I'm going to use a 6 Moon Designs backpack right here, because it's going to be large enough to hold my winter setup. So with that, I'm going to pick all the gear out. I'm going to lay it out for you and explain what it is I'm taking. And then next weekend, we're going to go camping. So I'm going to skip a week for a video because I'll be out camping and filming. And I'm going to come back after that and I'll show you the video of the actual campsite I set up. I will not have any cooking gear, and I will not have any food inside of the backpack itself. It's really just going to be the tent setup, everything packed in here. Because as a car camping trip, we're going to be everything in coolers, and we're going to bring separate utensils and pots and pans and stuff to cook with. So with that, let me go gather all this stuff up and we'll get started here. Okay, here we go. Now we're going to talk about the gear that we're going to be taking for this next weekend's camping trip. First thing I want to start off with is something that came in the mail just the other day, and this is the Appalachian Gear ALL-PACA hoodie. I got to tell you, this thing is pretty comfortable. They're extremely difficult to get. If you go on the website, they're sold out most of the time. And I've been looking for the last couple of months, and finally I managed to hit where they actually had these in stock. It's made of ALL-PACA wool, and let me tell you, it's light, it's stretchy, it's warm. If you can get one of these things, highly recommended that you get. And I will be using this weekend, and it's going to become part of my permanent backpacking gear. Let's get into the gear that I'm taking. And what we're going to do, we're going to start from the outside and we're going to work our way to the inside. And I'm going to show you in its unpacked setup, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like inside the pack itself once we're done. So the first thing we're going to talk about here is the tent. This tent right here is a tent by Eureka. It's the Marine Corps combat tent. Got it a couple of years ago. It's a very, very, very well-made tent. It's made for 4 seasons. It's a self-standing, freestanding tent, has 3 poles. It has no mesh on the interior of the tent itself. And then it has a very large, a very encompassing rain fly that goes over the top. So that's going to be the tent that I'm using. Inside of the tent, I'm going to use on the floor of the tent, I'm going to use this Kammock blanket right here. It's just a regular trail blanket. It's not that thick, but what it's going to do is this is going to be the layer inside of the tent that the sleeping bag and the pad are going to go on top of. I'll lay this out, and that's just going to provide a little bit of insulation on the floor of the tent to help keep some of that cold air from coming up. Also, what I've noticed is when I didn't use this right here, some type of a layer, whenever I got up or I touched something on the floor, it was very cold. By using this right now, it kind of takes a little bit of that chill off if you touch somewhere that's not underneath the sleeping bag or the sleeping pad. For the pillow, I'm going to use this Aeros. It's a, let's see what the name is on here. It is the Aeros pillow. It's a Sea to Summit brand. It actually has a layer of down on the inside, but this blows up very nice. Fits inside of this little stuff sack here. But this is my pillow. Okay. This is the pad. This is the Kammock insulated pad. I've done a video of this inside the hammock, and I'm actually going to use this one inside the tent because I really want to check it out, from a camping standpoint to see how this works here. Very nice pad. Or if I change my mind, I might switch to, I've got another pad that I might switch to depending on what happens with the temperature as I get closer to the weekend. But right now I'm planning on using this Kammock insulated pad. As a sleeping bag, I'm going to use this one right here. This is the Sierra Designs. It's the mobile mummy sleeping bag. I've reviewed this before in my sleeping bag videos. It's nice. It's got a hood. Very generous, well-made zipper. Zips all the way down to the bottom. Very good foot sack, foot pouch right down here. It does have the arms right here, so you can actually go in through the side and put your arms out of it here. This thing is temperature rated right here down to 27 degrees Fahrenheit or -3 Celsius. So this should work pretty good for what I'm going to do. It's a 600 fill down, and this is going to be my sleeping bag for the weekend. Now, if it does get a little bit chillier than I think it's going to be, I'm also going to be bringing this Kammock quilt. This is the Firebelly quilt. It's a 30-degree quilt. Nice and versatile. You can make it into a foot box, or you can just use it basically for what I plan on using it for, is just a blanket in case my sleeping bag, you know, or it gets a little bit colder and the sleeping bag just can't hold up, because I don't like being cold at night. But what I do is I'll start without it, and then if I do get cold in the middle of the night, I'm just going to pull this out and throw it on top of me. And between a 30-degree quilt and a 27-degree bag, I'll be perfectly fine for the weekend. For sleeping, a couple different options here. First thing I'm gonna do is I've got this merino wool, and these are made by Meriwool, and all the descriptions for these are going to be in the comments below if the product is still available. But these are the Meriwool. So what I've got here is I've got some bottoms. So these are my Meriwool bottoms, merino wool, great to sleep in, and a merino wool top. So what I'll do is I always keep these put away until right before I'm ready to go to bed. And what I'll do is I'll keep these in a stuff sack right here. This is just a waterproof stuff sack. And what that does, it keeps moisture from getting inside the clothes themselves. During the day, so long as it's not misty or raining or something like that, I'll leave them on top of my sleeping bag so they have a chance to air out. But if I do wake up in the morning and there is a lot of moisture in the air, I'll put them back inside of this stuff sack here until I get a chance to actually kind of air them out if that happens during the day. I also like to wear these nice little booties right here. These are Thinsulate booties. I've had these for a number of years. I don't remember where I got them from. I'm going to look them up and see if you can find some, but you could use socks, and I always wear, once again, merino wool. You can wear socks to bed. I just like these little Thinsulate socks right here when I go to bed. And also what I do is to keep my feet, to make sure my feet stay warm because they do get cold. I'm just a cold-footed person. I will take a hand warmer, or actually a body warmer, a chemical body warmer, open it up, throw it in the bottom of here into the foot box of the sleeping bag. And with this, a body warmer in the bottom of that, I've never had a problem with my feet being cold at night. Works great. Okay, here we go. We've packed all that gear down into its respective sacks, stuff sacks, those type of things. And now I'm just going to show you how I pack them into my backpack here. This right here is the Outdoor Vitals, and I think it's a 60 or 65 liter pack. So it's definitely more for my winter camping when I carry a lot more gear. The normal size pack I'm carrying when I'm backpacking is probably anywhere between about 40 to 50 liters, depending on what I'm doing. So the first thing I want to put in here is my sleeping bag. It's going to go all the way on the bottom. So I just take it in, put it in. I actually turn it sideways, stuff it all the way to the bottom. Next thing I'm going to get, and the reason I put that in first is that's probably more like the last thing I'm going to take out, because I'm going to set the tent up first. Okay. Next thing, we've got the pad. Okay. Let's put that pad in there sideways. Here's my clothes. I'm going to put those in. Stuff those all the way down in the bottom. Okay. Pillow all the way to the bottom. And this is the Kammock Firebelly right here. I'm going to stuff that one all the way down. Okay. I'll take the tent. It's going to go in sideways here. Actually, what I'll do is I'm going to take this out, put the tent in first. Okay. Looks like it goes all the way to the top. but it does pack down. Okay. Put the Firebelly on the side here. It's down, so it will pack in. Like so. And this is the Kammock Field blanket. We'll put that right here, actually, in front of the tent. Plenty of room in here. Move a few things around. Get that down in there. There we go. Close up the drawstring on the top. Okay, that's where the brain of the pack is going to go in. And as you can see, my entire sleep system is now placed in here. If I was going to do something else, I have all the room in this pocket here. I have the side pockets are still empty, and I have room in the brain to put anything I need to put in there. So that right there is what I'll take next weekend. And this will be pretty much what I'll put it in the car, and I'll take it out, set up all my stuff. Food, utensils, those type of things are all going to be in the car, and I'll just take those with me. Not included in this because I don't have the backpack with them. Driving the car up at the campsite, unload everything. So with that, that's this week's video, Discovering in Color. I'm going to have fun next week when I go out. Have a good time out there. It's going to be chilly, but it's going to be fun. So with that, take care, and I will send my next video out in 2 weeks. You get to see how much fun we had out there. Take care. Bye.